Right now on WRAL, raw meat and mold found in the home of parents accused of child abuse. Today we hear from the mother's son about what he and other children lived through. Plus,
you're in court today.
You executed my sisters and my best friend in cold blood out of pure hatred.
Emotional reactions in court as a man charged with 3 murders pleads guilty. We'll explain the cell phone recording that caught everything on camera. Mike.
David, we had an unsettled day across North Carolina. How long this continues and how long the comfortable temperatures stick around, it's in the forecast coming up.
This is WRAL News, your #1 source for local news.
And we begin with breaking news tonight. In the past hour, a 14-year-old girl missing in Franklin County has been found safe. Thank you for joining us. I'm Deborah Morgan.
And I'm David Crabtree. WRAL's Rosalia Federa is in the breaking news tracker to explain how a police K-9 helped find her. Rosalia?
David, Deborah, that Granville County K-9 led deputies right to 14-year-old Tori Sanders. She was found in the woods behind this home. This is Rocking Chair Drive in Youngsville. I was here when they brought her out of the woods, and that's the video I want to show you right now. Look at this. You can see her walking out with a blanket wrapped around her, surrounded by deputies. Her mom wanting nothing more than to just run up and hug her daughter once she realized that she was okay. Now, before this moment that you're watching, it was a tense situation with family members here and her mom waiting for any word, any update as deputies searched the area with canines. Now, the Franklin County Sheriff tells me she was found in a camper under a tarp. Witnesses telling deputies she ran out the back door last night with only a blanket. The call came in as a missing juvenile last night. Neighbors tell me the mom came to the neighborhood this morning asking for help. Now, EMS did check Sanders out on scene here. The sheriff telling me she is okay. Now, as far as charges, the Franklin County Sheriff tells me he's not suspecting any here, but it's still under investigation. David, back to you.
Rosalia Federa, thank you.
Justice today at the Durham County Courthouse, more than 4 years in the making. Craig Hicks pleaded guilty to murdering 3 students in Chapel Hill in 2015.
The victim's family say today is about reclaiming the narrative. They say the murders were not about parking spaces, as Hicks claimed, rather motivated by hatred of Muslims.
To claim Rassam, Yusur, and Diaz murders were about a parking space is not only ridiculous, it is insulting. It defies both sense and imagination. It is reductive and it is hurtful.
Earlier this week, WRAL broke the news about cell phone videos showing the shootings of Dia Barakat, Yusur Abu Salha, and her sister Razan in their apartment.
In court, we learned one of the victim's phone was recording at the time. Now, our camera was not allowed to record it. However, WRAL Sarah Kruger was in the courtroom and watched it. Sarah.
David, it was haunting, and it is still replaying over and over in my mind. I want to give you an account of what I saw, but first I want to warn you that it is graphic and it is disturbing. The judge asked us to turn off our cameras.
Photographs be turned off during this short period of time.
Then, for the first time, we saw cell phone video of the moments Dia Barakat, Yusur Abu Salha, and Razan Abu Salha were killed. With his phone in hand, Barakat answers his door. Hicks complains there is not enough parking outside. Barakat replies that his family can park where they want. Within seconds, Hicks starts shooting. Barakat falls to the ground, but the cell phone keeps recording. You hear the Abu Salha sisters screaming. The video shows Hicks stepping into the apartment. He is still in frame, firing shot after shot.
Less than a minute later, 3 people lay executed on their floor.
The video caused this reaction from a family member. Barakat's family says he was recording because he hoped to get a restraining order against Hicks, who had threatened him before. Prosecutors say Hicks often harassed neighbors about parking.
To the non-white neighbors, Mr. Hicks displayed firearms and threatened them with violence.
In a confession video, Hicks told police that the victims had used profanities and had mouthed off to him.
He said, we can park wherever, can I say the word?
Sure.
Okay, wherever we want. We can park as many vehicles as we want. I said, I'm sick and tired of this crap.
The cell phone video shows that is not true.
You had 12 guns, but Dia killed you with a camera.
And the attorney for the victim's family says he does not want that cell phone video to be publicly released or made publicly available because he does not want it to be all over the internet. Craig Hicks was sentenced to 3 consecutive life sentences in prison without parole. David.
Sarah Kruger reporting live in Durham. Sarah, thank you.
Take a look now at this live picture from our tower cam above Raleigh. We have seen some drizzly rain on and off across the area today, and it's a little cooler.
Our meteorologist Mike Mays has an update on what we can expect tonight as far as any more rain is concerned. Mike?
Yeah, there's more rain coming, David. It'll likely last till after midnight, and then tomorrow we face another different looking and feeling day. But today we had mentioned that it could be cool, and we've seen many 60s across the area. 68 right now in Raleigh, although off to the west, the Charlotte area has been seeing plenty of rain throughout the day. It's 63 right now, 63 in Statesville. And we have that gloomy look. This is a look from our tall tower cam. Now, we did see some sunshine this morning, but those clouds have really thickened this afternoon. And to be honest with you, I was expecting the rain to be better covering the area than what we saw locally. The heavier, more widespread rain has been off to the west, but as we expand our view, there is more rain to our south and west. That little wave of low pressure we talked about yesterday is still to make its way into the vicinity, so we're going to keep rain in our forecast throughout the evening. If you're heading out, make sure you have your rain gear with you, and if you're cool-natured, maybe a sweater, perhaps, with temperatures running in the 60s. The good news is we take another turn tomorrow. Temperatures really warm up, but it stays comfortable in the coming days. We'll talk more about those kind of temperatures, David, in the forecast in a few minutes.
Okay, Mike, thank you.
A Wake County couple accused of child abuse faced a judge today.
Arrest warrants for Rebecca and Michael Bell say their children were living in a condemned home with deplorable conditions. WRAL's Casey Cunningham spoke exclusively with Rebecca Bell's son, and now she joins us from just outside the courthouse. Casey?
David, these arrest warrants are difficult to read, but Rebecca Bell's son tells us to live it is even worse. Michael and Rebecca Bell appeared before a Wake County judge Wednesday. They're both facing multiple felony charges of child abuse.
You're in court today for a first appearance. You've been served with warrants for 5 felonies that each carry up to 47 months in prison.
The arrest warrants go into detail about the conditions the children were living in. A condemned home with no electricity, no water, mold, and raw meat in the hallway.
I mean, it's surprising. I wouldn't have imagined that, like, right next door. It's kind of crazy.
Neighbors say they didn't notice anything unusual at Rebecca Bell's Wake Forest home, but Bell's oldest son tells us his stepdad, Michael Bell, abused him and his 11 siblings for years.
Just getting like smacked around to actual fist fights, either between me and my stepdad or my older brother and him.
21-year-old Matthew Shirley lives in Nevada. He said that's where his family lived prior to North Carolina.
Growing up, none of my siblings, me included, we never had a stable home.
When he saw the charges, he says he wasn't surprised. He tells us he feels helpless being across the country while 10 of his siblings are split up in foster care.
You know, they've gone through it in the past. They went through it when I was there. I went through it when I was with them, and it hurts knowing that my siblings, I'm not there to do anything about it.
A father himself, Shirley doesn't understand how his mother could watch her children suffer.
She's seen the fight, she's seen the abuse, she's seen the way Mike treats the kids, and it just, it amazes me that someone would be able to watch their kids go through that and not want something better.
Difficult to hear from him. Michael Bell will be facing more child pornography charges. These charges coming from the SBI. The couple will be back in court on July 2nd. David?
Casey Cunningham reporting live in Raleigh. Casey, thank you.
Just into the newsroom here at WRAL, a deadly crash involving a motorcycle and a car at New Hope Road and James Road. Sky 5 live over the scene right here, and you can see the crash. Part of New Hope Road is shut down. You can see with the fire truck right there and an ambulance believed to be leaving the scene or just arriving. This is something that's going to be a traffic nightmare for a lot of folks as they're trying to get home, but certainly a sad situation as well, given that it is a deadly crash. And just if you're unfamiliar with that area and want to know where it is, this red marker right here, that is New Hope Road and James Road. so it's just north and east of downtown Raleigh. But this is a story we'll continue to follow for you, and if it is a deadly crash, which it is believed to be at this point, this area will be under investigation for quite some time. The exact cause and how this crash happened or the names of those involved have not yet been released. Still too early in the investigation. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Mark. New information about a deadly arson at a home in Nash County. Family members say the man who died helped 2 children out of the home during the fire, then ran back inside for his personal belongings. Elena Sherrod was arrested early this morning, charged with first-degree murder and first-degree arson. She's in jail without bond ahead of a court appearance tomorrow. Investigators say she's responsible for the mobile home fire on Strickland Road. They say she shared the home with 59-year-old Marcelino Ponce Gonzalez, who died. His family said he brought the children out safely and then went back inside.
We believe that may be the case simply because the way it looked, where he was positioned in the residence when firemen found him.
The funeral for Ponce Gonzalez will be Saturday at Cornerstone Church in Nashville, North Carolina at 5 o'clock. Firefighters credit a fire alarm for saving lives during a house fire. 2 people were sent to the hospital after a kitchen fire in Raleigh. It happened this morning at a home on Old Mill Burney Road near Buffalo Road. Authorities say a woman was cooking breakfast when the fire started, triggering the alarm. First responders performed CPR on a man who was inside at the time. Both of them were taken to the hospital.
The Kamado grill or the big green egg?
You have probably heard that debate if you're a grill master. 5 on your side's Monica LaLiberty checks out versions of that same style that don't cost as much. New at 5:30.
And we're hearing more from a North Carolina teenager bitten by a shark. What you need to know about staying safe at the beach this summer. Plus.
Simon gives a young violinist from Raleigh the golden buzzer on America's Got Talent, what the boy conquered to get where he is today. The city of Boston is preparing to keep everyone safe for Game 7 in the Stanley Cup playoffs tonight. Today, city officials said they will not tolerate public drinking or smoking marijuana. They're also asking people not to bring bags and backpacks into town tonight. Well, it doesn't happen that often. Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals. You can watch the action tonight on WRAL. The Boston Bruins and the St. Louis Blues take the ice at 8 p.m.
It is only June 12th, yet I am told it is time to begin thinking about Christmas. That's because Pullen Park's incredibly popular Holiday Express will be back in December, and tickets go on sale July 30th at 5:30 that morning. Last year, get this, ticket sold out in less than an hour. To give yourself the best chance of scoring the coveted ticket, set an alarm on your phone now on June 12th or mark the calendar. And an art project that has been in the works for years in Person County is making progress. This week, city employees hung up one of 5 works on Main Street in Roxborough. It's the first installment of a project that will include 8 art scenes in Person County. The first 5 will be displayed at the Wimp Slaughter building. The project is expected to be complete by August.
So far this month, we have seen 2 shark bites off the North Carolina coast. 17-year-old Paige Winter lost part of her leg to a shark bite off Atlantic Beach the first weekend of the month. Then last weekend, a shark bit 19-year-old Austin Reed while swimming off Ocean Isle. WRAL's Ken Smith shows us the news has experts trying to raise awareness about sharks and their behavior as more and more people head to the beach for the summer.
I thought like the shark was about to go into like a frenzy with all the blood in the water.
Austin Reed remembers the moment that shark tugged him down while surfing along Ocean Isle Beach this week. His friend and mother rushed to his rescue.
We're on the Ocean Isle Beach. We got a shark right here. My mom's a nurse. She's down by him. She's trying to help him.
Reed's doctors say his bites are consistent with a very large shark. Marine life experts say when sharks are scared or confused, their natural instinct is to use their mouths to explore what's around them.
It's not necessarily looking to bite people. What it is looking for food. It finds something that could be food, tests, and typically it's not something that it's looking to eat, and so that's why you generally see one bite and then it's completely off in another direction.
And while most shark encounters with humans are a matter of mistaken identity, experts still say they are extremely rare.
These are so uncommon, it's kind of unbelievable. I mean, we have millions of people in the water, especially in the summertime, And certainly just along this area, you have tens of thousands of people in the water at any given time. And we usually end up talking about a 1, 2, at most maybe 3 incidents that happen all summer.
Experts add that most encounters do in fact occur in near-shore waters. They say swimmers should avoid areas around piers where people are fishing and avoid where you can see bait schooling or where fish cleaning is occurring. Swimmers can also reduce their risk by staying in groups, avoiding the water during dawn, dusk, darkness, or twilight hours, and of course, don't enter the water if you're bleeding.
Still makes you want to go to the beach, doesn't it? That was Ken Smith reporting. The first victim, 17-year-old Paige Winter, is still recovering at Vine Medical Center in Greenville after losing that part of her leg. She will speak to the media on Friday. In a statement last week, she thanked people for their support and asked them to protect the ocean and all the life in it. She closed with the hashtag, "Sharks are still good people." There are more than 500 different species of sharks in the world. About 50 of those are found in North Carolina waters. Of those, only 26 are found near shore waters. Those sharks are usually looking for warmer temperatures and food.
And more than 50 rip current rescues have been reported at North Carolina beaches this year. Now, about 25 of those at Carolina Beach, another 30 at Wrightsville. The officials say it's because both of these beaches are positioned towards the east and face worsening conditions. At least 8 drowning deaths have been reported along the coast, with rip currents blamed for at least 6 of them.
Yeah, we were just talking about that, Mike. It's like it looks so inviting to go to the beach, but we have a lot to be concerned about here off our coast.
You can go and stay out of the water and have a great time.
Or just walk in the surf, you know, don't go in too deep. Sharks, rip currents, and even waterspouts. There was a waterspout reported off Cape Lookout today.
Wow.
So a lot to be aware about when you head down east toward the coast, and some thunderstorms there as well. Let's take a look at our comfortable day. Boy, it was really nice temperature-wise today, and a little cool this morning. 59 was the low out at RDU, had 74 for the high. Not feeling like June. 63 was the low in Fayetteville, 76 the high. We chose South Hill. 53 was your low this morning. Wow, cool start. 71 in the afternoon for your high. Southern Pines had a low of 58. 72 was the high so far for the day. So last night we mentioned it would be a cool start, and there are more cool starts coming. Take a look at the cool June mornings ahead. These are the forecast lows at RDU. Now we compare it to our normal low of 65. We're expecting 62 tomorrow morning when you step out with clouds. Friday morning 55, and Saturday morning could be even cooler, about 53. Now if we see 53 here in the triangle Saturday morning, I would not be surprised up towards Southern Virginia if there was a 49 or 50 for a low come Saturday morning. That's pretty nice. We'll show you what the reasoning behind that is coming up in a moment. 60s and 70s out there right now. 66 at Asheboro. We have 68 at RDU. 72 though at Wilson. 68 at Fayetteville. And here's a look at the radar view time lapsed over the past hour. And again, as I mentioned at the top of the newscast, I was expecting more widespread rain than what we've seen. What we have been seeing is spotty and light. The more widespread rain happened to set up towards Charlotte and the Triad and points westward. So they pretty much got the rain we were expecting today. Up to the north across Southern Virginia, South Hill, Clarksville, Skipwith, Boynton, all seeing a little bit of light rain, as well as Roxborough, Henderson, Kittrell. Over toward Johnson County, the Clayton area getting a little bit more in the way of moderate rain. That's heading to the north-northwest, moving into Wake County. And as we expand the view, there's that more broad, widespread rain to the west. There are the thunderstorms offshore that have generated some waterspouts this afternoon, not causing any problems. And then far to the south, few things we're watching. We're watching the area of low pressure tracking to the northeast. The reason why we were cooler today, we had the surface high bringing in that drier air. The rain fell into the drier air, forced that temperature down. And then there's our next cold front that sweeps through tomorrow night. Ahead of it, it'll be windy and warm tomorrow, and maybe a shower. And with the passage of the front, more dry and cooler air is coming. That's why we expect those morning lows to be comfortable in the coming days. 60% chance of rain this evening, 50% overnight tonight. But tomorrow we're just looking for a 20% chance of a shower or maybe a thunderstorm with the passage of that front. So rain through the evening. By daybreak, upper 50s to mid 60s, the lows, 62 in Raleigh, 64 at Fayetteville. We're not going to call it a washout tonight. In the morning, waking up to an overcast. It'll likely make its way through 10 a.m. Temperatures gradually warming into the low 70s by 10 a.m. And then tomorrow afternoon, brighter in the afternoon, windy and warmer. Highs in the mid 70s to mid 80s with about 82 here in Raleigh. And the humidity goes up as well. But the humidity drops for Friday. It's called a good feel Friday is what I'm trying to spit out. 78 for Flag Day, 84 on Saturday. Father's Day still shooting for upper 80s and upper 80s to about 90 degrees Tuesday and Wednesday. So not only is it David Crabtree weather Sunday, but it's good Father's Day weather on Sunday as well.
Sure is.
First day of summer comes next week.
Yeah,
This
looking
is
forward
what
to
it
it.
should be,
Yeah.
right? Thank you, Mike.
Lines of parents and children wind around malls when Build-A-Bear Workshop offers its Pay Your Age promotion.
We're going to show you the new rules this year and what you need to know to get the best deals.
And are you tired of a refrigerator that constantly needs repairs? Did you know retailers use a score to rate you? It could get you better deals. Or what about one simple change that could improve your chances of surviving a house fire? Watch our 5 on Your Side extra tonight at 7 on WRAL.
An emotional performance on America's Got Talent is gaining popularity online.
Yeah, we showed you this last night, but it's worth another look. 11-year-old Tyler Butler Figueroa, a young violinist from Raleigh, was a big hit on the show last night. Let's take a listen. Oh, you are tapping your toes. I know you are. At the end of his performance, you saw it right there. Simon Cowell gave him the golden buzzer. Each judge is allowed to use the golden buzzer to send an act automatically into the live shows, regardless of the opinion of the other judges. Tyler tweeted this video after the show.
Hey everybody, I know you just saw me get this. My life has changed forever. I got the golden buzzer from Simon, and I've been chatting back and forth with Brian King Joseph. I'll see you at the live shows. Peace.
And peace to you. This season, you will hear Tyler's story about overcoming bullying and surviving cancer.
Today, Facebook launched a blood donation feature. The feature allows users to sign up to be blood donors in the About section of their profiles and then receive notifications from blood donation centers. The tool comes just in time for summer, a season when blood donations are typically low. The feature is debuting today in Chicago, New York, San Francisco, Baltimore, and Washington. Facebook will roll it out nationwide in the coming months. $5 million will support hospitals in the Carolinas for maternity and infant care. The award from the Duke Endowment Fund will go to the Enrich Carolinas project, which provides training for hospitals and child care facilities that support breastfeeding. The funding will allow the project to help expand and help hospitals that provide maternity care at no cost to the family.
Build-A-Bear's Pay Your Age promotion is returning with some new rules. Now, this year, only a limited number of tickets will be available. Participants must be part of the Build-A-Bear Rewards program and enter by June 16th for a chance to get one of 200,000 tickets. Should you be one of the lucky winners, you will receive a notification via email. The tickets will be redeemable for a new furry friend between June 24th and 28th.
Yeah, those are so popular.
Obviously, very popular.
Very popular.
All right, Catherine Brown's here now with what's coming up next. Catherine.
David and Deborah, a murder suspect is in custody tonight, but what was the motive?
An arrest has been made in the murder of a man found shot to death in this field here in Robeson County.
With no remorse, then riding around in his car like you've done nothing.
Now the search is on for more suspects.
Plus, dozens of students busted on school grounds for partying. How they got away without getting suspended, coming up.